In the world of My Hero Academia, there is a man who is the symbol of all things good and prosperous in the world. A symbol warning all those who dare oppose the natural order of the consequences of their actions. A symbol of peace. This man is All Might. Through his career, he has fought many fights, each one being tougher than the last. For every conflict he's encountered, All Might has come out the other side triumphant. But none of his triumphs have been more glorious than his clash with the king of villainy and the symbol of evil, All for One. But what if I told you that the United States of Smash, All Might's greatest accomplishment, was in actuality his greatest mistake? And that in this fight, All Might should have died. Now I'm not gonna lie. When I say All Might should have died, you're probably saying, "How dare you say such blasphemy, you monster! We must protect our sacred symbol!" But just hear me out, and I think you'll understand the point I'm trying to make. You see, I'm not saying All Might should have lost to All for One, or that due to some mathematical calculations, All Might should have exploded due to the sheer force his own body would have to withstand to create a punch that powerful. No. What should have happened is that when All Might stood above the defeated All for One and raised his hand, that should have been his final breath, because it would have saved society. There are two main reasons why I believe this to be the case. The first is how All Might surviving the ordeal has affected society. All Might isn't another hero, he is the symbol of peace. While heroes come a dime a dozen, especially in the My Hero world, a symbol is unique, because it's not a title you can earn performing good deeds or by completing a set number of tasks. To be a symbol, your actions must change society. Because of this, there can't be multiple symbols, because not everyone can change society in the same way. This is why only All Might is known as the symbol of peace, because it was his presence and his actions that brought order and justice to the world. No matter what happens, All Might will always be this symbol, and this is the very problem with All Might remaining alive. No one else can take his place, and no one will be able to until he dies. Think of it like this. You can't be the next Michael Jordan while Michael Jordan is still playing. You can't have the next All Might while All Might is still around. Sure, he is officially retired, but in reality, you can't really retire from being a hero. When he meets people on the street, he's still greeted as All Might and the symbol of peace. While he remains to be recognized as this, no other person can really take his place. There could be new heroes coming in day and night, performing like no one has ever seen before. But no matter what they do, they will never be All Might. This has a massive toll on society, because now, the villains have no one to fear. We even witnessed the results of this problem within the show, as Endeavor admits to All Might that he's never performed better in his life since All Might retired. Yet, crime rates keep increasing. With no new symbol to scare criminals, the world has become a much worse place, and there's no new symbol because All Might is alive. All for One himself knows this, as he mocks and taunts All Might in his prison cell, claiming that all he can do is sit back and watch from the sidelines as the society he fought so hard to create falls to pieces. But this isn't even the worst thing about All Might surviving the fight. The worst thing is the potential he has now given every villain. All Might has created a world where the symbol of peace can become the symbol of villainy. All Might is now powerless and has no way of defending himself against even the most basic of criminals. He's weak and quirkless. This makes him an easy target. If the League of Villains really wanted to, they could kill All Might at any time. Picture the scene. All Might has been kidnapped and is being brutally beaten and tortured on a TV broadcast for all the world to see. Then, after the villains are done torturing him, they kill All Might right in front of the entire world. The man who saved the world, defenseless, broken, and battered, right before the eyes of the public. The world would descend into chaos. Everything he worked for, everything he defended, would be rendered pointless, as the one man who acted as a sign of goodness suddenly becomes a martyr for evil. This is terrifying, and is the potential future All Might has created for the world. His life now acts as an unfortunate possibility of a future filled with despair and destruction. While he remains the symbol of peace, he's become a potential catalyst for the new symbol of villainy. This is the problem with All Might surviving his encounter with All for One. The second point I wanted to make was the potential effect All Might's death could have had on the world if he had died after the fight. Rather than living on as the shell of the man he was, All Might could have died as a martyr, as a true symbol. Just imagine it. The symbol of villainy, bested on the floor as the symbol of peace, takes his final breath with his hand raised triumphantly in the air. The world watches in awe as the scene becomes etched into their minds. A man who stood up for what he believed in. A man who fought day and night for years on end to make this world a better place, giving up not only his power, but his life, to show the world in one last stand that no matter what happens, no matter how far one can get pushed, good will always triumph evil. All Might once said, "Nothing is more nobler than self-sacrifice," and in his final moments, he embodied those words. Rather than living on, he would be immortalized as the greatest hero who ever lived, and not a soul could tarnish his legacy as the symbol of peace. The heroes of the world would be inspired to work as hard as possible to try and live up to the ideals All Might created. The villains would never be more terrified of the heroes of the world, as they now know just how far a true hero would be willing to go to stop them. A man willing to die for justice is far more terrifying than a man willing to lose his strength. With the death of All Might, the word hero would finally regain its true meaning, and the world would be ready for a new generation of heroes, to find its new symbol of peace. This is what could have been. All Might was born a man, lived as a hero, and could have died as a legend, but instead, he lives on as a man once more. Right now, we don't know his fate or what will become of the symbol of peace. All we can do is hope that for his sake and the sake of the world, everything will turn out okay. This is just a glimpse of what could have been.
Wow, what a great video, Mr. Lunchtime.
Why, thank you, viewer Dave.
I really enjoyed it. If only there was some way I could show my appreciation or let you know how I feel about it.
Well, viewer Dave, if you enjoyed the video, you can always hit that like button and leave a comment. It also really helps the channel.
Wow, Mr. Lunchtime, that's amazing. Man, if only there was a way I could be informed next time you make a video. Boy, what a world that would be.
Well, actually, viewer Dave, if you want to be informed next time I upload a video, you can always just hit that subscribe button and then click on the bell icon, and you'll get a notification the next time I upload a video.
Gee whiz, Mr. Lunchtime, you know everything.
I guess I do, Dave. I guess I do.
Well, in that case, I've been going through a lot of trouble lately with the ex-wife. She's already taken everything, and now she wants to take the kids, and I just don't know what...
See you next time, folks!
Oh wait, I'm not done!